is your iReady instruction book. This is going to be page 24 through 29. So this is your Monday. Today's Monday. So we're still working on our distributed property, breaking apart a big factor into two smaller factors. So let's look through these, okay? It says, read the problem below. All right, Matt shared some crackers with 8 friends. You can see his array. He gave each friend 7 crackers. How many crackers did Matt give away? Break apart one of the numbers to find the answer. So what they've done for us already is they took his numbers. You see that they've broken them apart into 2 smaller arrays. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2. So he took his 7 and he broke it apart into 5 and 2. Because 7's a big factor, he wanted to use 5 and 2. 5s are easy to count by, 2s are easy to count by. So we can see why 5 and 2 would be a better option than multiplying by 7. So it would look like this. He took 8 times 7 and he changed that into 8 times 5 plus 2, 5 and 2. Or he distributed his 8 times 5 plus 8 times 2. Now one thing I want you to pay attention to here is that we can write the distributed property either way. But what is the key thing you look for? You look for that plus sign. That plus sign is going to let you know it's distributed property and not the associative property. Associative will not have a plus sign. Distributive will. All right, let's look at this page. This is page 25. What numbers did Matt break 7 and 2 to help him solve the problem? He broke the 7 into what? He broke it into 5 and 2. 5 and 2. So 5 and 2. What 2 multiplication expressions did he use? Let's go back and look. He used 8 and 5 and 8 and 2, didn't he? So that's what we're going to write. 5 and 2. I'll put that back. He used 8 times 5 and 8 times 2. Show how to use the 2 multiplication expressions to find the answer. All right, let's do that. What is 8 times 5? 40. And what is 8 times 2? 16. And then let's put those 2 answers back together. Remember, we're the ones that broke it apart, so we've got to, at the end, put them back together. 40 plus 16 is 56. And we also know 8 times 7 is also 56. Look at number 12. Madison knows the answer to 4 times 7. How can 4 times 7 help her with 8 times 7? Well, how do we make an 8? How can I break an 8 apart if I already know 4 times 7? We can break an 8 into 4 and 4, can't we? 4 and 4 make 8. So if she knows 4 times 7, then she can do 2 4s to get 8. So she can say 4 times 7 plus another 4 times 7. And that's the same thing as 8 times 7. If 4 times 7 is 28, all she needs to do is add 28 plus 28. And that will tell her 8 times 7. What is 28 plus 28? 8 plus 8 is 16. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Guess what 8 times 7 is? It's the same answer, 56. Explain why someone might want to break apart one of the numbers in a multiplication equation. Well, I know why I would. Why would you want to break a number apart into smaller numbers? Maybe you don't know the bigger number. So sometimes it is difficult to multiply a big factor but easy or easier when it is two small factors. Oops. small factors. Sometimes that big factor makes it harder for us to multiply, but those two small factors make it easier. It's those small bites. Remember that Subway sandwich, those two small bites, and sometimes. So sometimes it is difficult or hard, you could use the word hard there, to multiply a big factor, but easier when it's two small factors. Those smaller numbers a lot of times are easier for us to learn and quicker for us to remember, aren't they? All right, 14's our try it. Let's look at our try it. Alice knows the answer to 5 times 7. Good job, Alice. How can that help her find the answer to 6 times 7? Draw a model. All right, let's do a 6 by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to need 7 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I missed one on this row. How many was it? Is it 6? 1, 2, 3. Yep, let me go back. I put too many, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we need 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I got it now. Get those 2 dots out of there. I got it. So it's 6 by 7. But she knows 5 times 7. So let's find our 5. So this is my 6, right? So if I only wanted 5 of those, it would be right here. So I'm going to draw a line between my 5 and that 6th row. So we now have 5 and 1. So how can 5 times 7 help us? We can do 5 times 7 plus 1 times 7, can't we? We can take that factor of 6 and break it apart into 5 and 1. And that's what my blue line does. It separates it in from 6 rows into 5 rows and 1 row. It's the same array. I'm just going to break it up into those 2 smaller factors. What's 5 times 7? 35 plus 1 times 7, 7. And what's 35 plus 7? 35 plus 7 would be 42, isn't it? And guess what 6 times 7 is? 42. So that's breaking up a big number like a 6 into 5 and 1. Number 15. Tim knows the answer to 6 times 7. How can that help him find the answer to 6 times 9? All right, so let's draw a model. So again, we need a 6 by 9 this time. We want 6 and 9. Got 6 rows and 9 columns. Takes just a minute to get all those 9 columns. That's a lot of columns, isn't it? Remember, rows we're going to draw first. Columns we draw second. Takes a few seconds to get this drawn. There we go. And we want to split that into a 6 by 7. So that means I'm going to need to draw my line. Instead of 9, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's where my line's going to go, right here between the 7 and the 2. So how does this help me? This gives me 6 times 7 plus 6 times 2. We didn't change our 6. We still have 6 rows. We just split our columns. 6 times 7 is 42. We learned that up here, didn't we? Plus 6 times 2 is 12. And 42 plus 12 is 54. Guess what 6 times 9 is? 54, isn't it? Okay. You've got some green pages also that you're going to work through. I will not post the answer to your green pages until tomorrow, but I want you to go ahead and solve all of those, working more on the distributive property and breaking those apart. If you attend our Google meeting this afternoon at 2:30, then I will go over these green pages, so have them completed and ready for us. As we go through them, we will correct and fix and answer any questions that you have. So I'll see you at 2:30 today.